So, what does it mean when the opposite is showing up or not really quite what you wanted? Well, you're in the middle. Let's talk about it. Make sure you stick around until the end so you understand fully how to handle this place, the in between, and how to shift yourself into the place of the wish fulfilled and in the state of having and being all the good that you desire. Okay, welcome to Patty's World. I'm Patty. I'm a transformational coach, and I focus on manifestation, but really also stepping into the highest version of yourself because you're absolutely worthy of living the life of your dreams. And it all starts in the mind. So we're going to talk about it. And this is a viewer request. Somebody actually posted this in the comments. I do read your comments, and they wanted me to talk more about the wish fulfilled, being in the state of the wish fulfilled and the middle. And this happens all the time. I see it all the time in my questions. I'm glad somebody asked about it. What happens when the opposite shows up or not quite what you want, something like it, but not really what you want? Okay, this is the middle. Shout out to Kim Bella. She calls it the middle. I've heard it called the in between. When you're in the in between, not quite where you used to be, but also not in the wish fulfilled. In your mind, in the state of the wish fulfilled, you believe that you have it, you're certain about it, but your 3D, the world of the five senses, is showing something completely different, or maybe the opposite, or not quite the wish fulfilled, but something similar, but not really there. It's all pretty much the same thing. You're in the middle, you're in the in between, and that is when you double down on the state of the wish fulfilled, double down on yourself and believe that everything is aligning and conforming to benefit you. No need to panic, no need to start ruminating or going into a spiral saying, this isn't working, I'm not getting what I want, or maybe I can settle for this. Don't settle. Do not settle. You're in the middle, you're in the in between, and it's okay. Remember, there is a lag time in the 3D. Everything is first created in the mind, in the world of imagination, in consciousness. We create the image of ourselves being and having the good that we desire. And from that place, from imagination, from the mind, we take ourselves believing and thinking and feeling that we already are, that we have, and we are being the person who has their desire. And we operate and think and function from a place of certainty and believing. Remember, manifestation is all about you align and resonate and attract what you are, not what you want. So you first want to take yourself to the state of having and being. Who would I be if I was a person who already had what I wanted? The SP, the money, the desire. Well, I would feel relief. I would feel secure. I would feel safe. I would feel joy. I would be praising and appreciating and feeling gratitude. I wouldn't be doubting. I wouldn't be asking, where is it? I wouldn't be looking for evidence in my 3D. And here's a big sign or red flag that you haven't shifted from within is that you're looking for evidence in your 3D. If you're looking for evidence in your 3D and you're telling me, and I get it in the comments, nothing has happened, he hasn't called you, nothing has shown up, then you're still reacting to your 3D. You're waiting for your 3D to change so that you can feel better, so that you can believe. And it is the opposite. You first take yourself to the state of already having and being the wish fulfilled in the mind. Who would I be? In imagination, we visualize it, we believe it, we affirm it, we talk from that place, we act from that place, believing that it's ours and that everything behind the scenes is aligning. Even when you don't see evidence of it, there is always movement. Trust me, there's always movement. And the thing is, and I want to reassure you that things will show up in ways that you can't even imagine. You see, as a human, in our limited human thinking, we only see point A to point B, and we always want to know the how. Well, you have to let go of the how. We are co-creating with the universe. We are co-creating with the divine. And you have to trust and step into blind faith that it's all working out for you. And when you step and leap into blind faith, but it's a good kind of faith. It's a faith tied to peace, to certainty, to security, to the idea that you are always protected, that life is always supporting you, and that everything always works out in your favor. When you step out in faith, before you see evidence of it in your 3D, that is when it aligns without needing evidence or proof. You're in the middle. And when you're in the middle, you have to relax and trust that everything is conforming, everything is aligning, everything is readjusting. And here is a mindset. Here is the spin that I want you to start placing and telling yourself and affirming and telling yourself a million times a day when you're in the middle that everything is working out for you. Oh, this is just the bridge of incidents. Everything is working itself out to benefit me because everything benefits me because everything is always working out in my favor. And this is going to work out in my favor because life is always supporting me. Life is always supporting me. And this is going to work out in my favor. Everything always works out in my favor. And because everything always works out in my favor and life is always supporting me, I'm going to get exactly what I want because I know that divine source, the universe, God loves me, wants the best for me. They place that desire in my heart and I am worthy of having and receiving. And so I'm trusting that it's all conforming. And I'm going to trust, and I don't have to know how, I just have to believe. And all I have to believe in is what is the next right step. And I will be guided intuitively. I will get those nudges because I'm connected to source and to God and to the divine, and I will know in what direction to move. I'm trusting in that connection. I am following my passion. I'm following my joy. I'm following my bliss. I'm following my happiness and trusting what feels good to me. And I'm always being guided and I'm always being supported. And you just self talk yourself like that. That's what I do. I self talk myself into, no, this is just the middle. I don't have to worry. This is going to work out in my favor because everything works out in my favor. And let's say something the opposite shows up. Don't freak out. Be like, I cannot wait to see how this is all going to flip back in my favor. And then tell yourself and remind yourself because everything always works out in my favor because I always get the best case scenario and circumstances always benefit me. Everything always benefits me and life is always supporting me. Everything is rigged in my favor. Everything works out in my favor. And this is life rearranging things. And I'm just going to trust and believe that I'm always supported, that I'm loved, and that I'm worthy. And you just have to keep on self-talking yourself through this. You really have to believe, you have to allow, and really add that positive spin. You have to interrupt that pattern and flip and change that pattern of negative thinking. The thing is, you've been thinking like that for so long that that's your default. Oh, this is the worst. It doesn't happen. And that's the thing you have to change because then you're staying in that cycle. You have to interrupt that pattern and say, okay, no more. This is no longer me. Who would I be? Ask yourself, if I already had what I wanted, well, I would trust, I would be celebrating, I would be believing, I would be happy, I would feel relief. And then start talking to yourself from that place as the person who already has it. Who would you be if you were the person who already had what they wanted, if you were already doing what you wanted, if you were already living the life you wanted? You would be happy, praising, operating from confidence, security, safety, relief, freedom, joy, happiness. Embody those emotions. And don't tell me you don't know how they feel. Of course you do because you felt them before. And take yourself there. Practice that every day, a million times a day. This work is an everyday lifestyle change. I keep saying it over and over. It is a deeply profound, different way of thinking. We create in the mind. I always tell myself, okay, who would I be if I was the person who had the wish fulfilled? And sometimes, it's hard for us to see it. I get that. And so I'm always listening. I surround myself with this stuff. Like I live it and breathe it. Also because I teach it, but I always say, okay, who would I be if I had the wish fulfilled? Well, I would be believing and assuming that I get what I want, that it's already done. So I know it's done. So I have faith, that certain faith, that certainty. My self-concept, my concept of self operates as the person who already is the being, the person, the identity, the persona who is living that lifestyle, that circumstance, that result, the wish fulfilled. I'm already living in the end. Already living in the end. And I've been practicing. Not been practicing. Of course, it's practice. It's every day, but you get better at it. It's like a muscle you strengthen. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Do it over and over and over. So if undesirable circumstances are showing up, tell yourself this is the middle. This is the middle. Things are rearranging themselves. Things are falling out. It doesn't have to be that way. You can say that everything realigns with ease and it'll benefit you and there's no struggle. You don't get the opposite. That's just a limiting belief. Remember, you create your reality. So, whatever you're believing and telling yourself, and those self conversations matter because that's what you're manifesting. You create it, you decide it. So, start believing and talking to yourself differently. Start talking to yourself from the place of being the person who has it, who is living from the end. And that's really what it is. In the mind, you 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 tell yourself and you talk to yourself like you already have it with certainty that you're co-creating with the divine and that the universe is always supporting you and you always get what you want and that you're so loved and that you're so blessed and everything works out in your favor. You do it over and over a million times a day. Trust me, my love, trust me, you're so worthy. You have to believe it for yourself because I can tell you over and over, but until you believe it for yourself, nothing will change. Okay? All right. So thank you for that question. If you want me to talk on any more topics, I'm going to do one on SP because somebody else requested that. So I'll do one later this week. Make sure you watch out for that when it drops. And then I'm also having my Manifestation Mastermind workshop this Thursday and Friday. You can still sign up. It's a 2-day event. It's 4 hours. You're going to get the basics, the ABCs, the one, two trees. I speak Spanish, so if you hear my accent sometimes, you're going to get the 1, 2, 3s of manifesting, really how to approach it, and really also how to flip those beliefs. And once you understand that, and the process to manifesting is really rather simple. You could do it over and over and you just get better at it. It's a lot of it, most of it is making these mindset shifts that reap big rewards. But you have to know how to approach things and how to flip your mindset. And I will talk about also the places that were holding me back, that were blocking me, or that were really keeping my manifestations at bay because I was still doing this pattern. I may be affirming, but then I was going back to this default behavior or this default way of thinking. So I'm going to cover all of that and you'll be able to ask me questions to your specific situation. All that info is in my bio. Please sign up and make sure you also sign up for my email list where I introduce new products, meditations, and anything else that I am releasing. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm going to be releasing a podcast too. I've had several people ask me about that. It'll be longer format on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. That will also be here on YouTube. So watch out for that as well, which is why you want to be signed up to my email list. Okay, thank you for joining me on this one. We'll see you on the next one.